Okay, so today we'll discuss the Sling model. What does it mean by the Sling model and why we are using it? So simple, keep in mind Sling model are nothing but the POJO classes. Okay, what does it mean by the POJO? That is plain old Java object. You can also call as a bean. That means it's just simple a model. You can also say it's just simple a model. Okay, and inside this model what we will do, we store the variables only, and there we can create the getter and the setter methods. Okay, so in our simple Java, if I want to create the model bean or the POJO, so how I can create? I'll create only one class. Consider this one is my class, and inside this class I will write only the data types, and I'll just write the method for this. I just write some methods for this variable, that is setter and the getter methods. Okay, this is nothing but the model. Okay, the same model it is. Sling model is also a same model, but what is the use of this Sling model here? Okay, so it will automatically map. What it will map? So now I'll tell you one thing. I'll give you one example. Now consider this one is my CQ dialog. Consider this one is my CQ dialog, and when somebody enters some information, this content will store inside your content folder. We knows that it will store inside our content folder, and this data where it will store in some properties. Okay, in some properties this data will store, is it no? So if you want this data inside your Java, okay, Java is nothing but your Sling model. Consider this one is nothing but your Sling model. Now this is the data, has user enter this data I want inside my Sling model. So how I can get it? So we don't need to be worry about anything. If you want something from the CRXD, there we have one, there we have a resources. Now I'll tell you everything is a resource. Okay, if I open the CRXD, hit enter. Now here you see whatever you are saying inside this, whatever you are saying, these are nothing but the resources. In our Java point of view, everything is a resource. Now if you want something like consider if I am right now inside my EN, okay, and here I have some, like here I have some components, and inside this component I am just filling some information. Okay, so here this is my hello world component. Here I am just filling some information. See, here we have a text, so I am just filling one information, that is this. So when I am just selecting, what I have done, user has entered something, maybe it is a meaningful information. So on this basis, on the basics of this information, I just want to perform some logic. Okay, I just perform some business logic. So for that I need this text, I need this data types. Okay, so how I can get these data types in our Sling model? So for in our Java, so for that we'll use the concept of Sling model. Again I'll explain. If see Sling model, that means Java language we use for the business logic. If you want to write the business logic, we can use the Java language. The same thing inside the Java, here we have concepts of Sling model. Okay, so we use this Sling model for writing the business logic. Okay, but the main purpose of the Sling model is only the model. That means we can create the variables and we can store the variables. Okay, we can create and store the data types, data of that variable. Like here you see now, here we have this component, and whatever the information user has entered, okay, it may be a meaningful information, and here we have to perform some business logic. So that's why we need this we need this value. Now this is the value, I need it. So how I can get this value? Okay, so by using Sling model you can easily get it. So what it will does exactly, it will map your Sling. See, this is CRXD is nothing, who maintain this CRXD? Sling. Okay, Sling will execute everything. So these are nothing but the Sling level resources. Okay, these are the Sling nodes. Everything here, this is nothing but the Sling nodes. Okay, so this is Sling nodes, and here we have a Java. When you are coming to your Eclipse, here we have a Java. Okay, so Sling model is an interface which is map automatically. What it will map? The Sling objects. It will map your Sling object to your Java. Okay, it just simply map your Sling Sling nodes to your Java. Okay, this is the thing, but before that we just have to know when user will enter some information, where this information will store. So user will enter the information in this CQ dialog, and this CQ dialog, here we have options of the developer. Yeah, it has. Okay, so now here you see, here we have options of the developer. Okay, so when I'm just clicking here inside this, this one is my CQ dialog. Yeah, so somewhere maybe here we have a, okay, this one is my page, and inside this page here we have a, let it be about this. Now this one is my CQ dialog. Okay, so where this information will store, so this information will store inside this. Here you see, here we have a content, demo1, US and the EN. So yeah, there we have stored our hello world component. So we just simply go there and just try to search it. So where is the content? Yeah, this one is our content. See, content have a demo1, and demo1 have a US, and US have a EN, and inside this EN we have stored the, what we have stored. Okay, so here we have our hello world component, and inside this hello world component our information has stored. See, so inside this text, see here, this is the text, we have stored our information. This is the thing, no? Yeah, now same thing, now I'm just going to write the backend code. Okay, so here in this way our information has stored. Now this thing, this is the node. Okay, this is the property I want inside this Sling model. Here I want inside my backend code. So how I can get it? So for that we just have to write the Sling model code. Okay, so where we can write inside the core, here we have a source main, and here we have a model package. So I'm just creating my own class, right click there, next, and the class. See what I'm creating right now, I'm creating a class for the Sling model. Okay, so simply I'm creating one class first. You can also create an interface, there is not an issue. Your Sling model will support the class and the interface as well. Here you see it is saying support both classes and the interface. So you can create your Sling model with a class, and you can also create your Sling model with the interface, there is no issue. So here Sling model example I'm saying, and hit enter. Okay, so this thing, a Sling model example has created, but this is a simple class, this is only a simple class. Now I just want to convert this simple class into a Sling model. So how I can do it? So for that we have to use one annotation, that is Sling, that is model, @model. Yeah. Okay, so here you see, now I'm just using sorry, here I'm just simply using @model. So what I have done now, I have converted this normal class into an Sling model. Okay, so we have to import this @model. Yeah, so we have imported. We have to remove first one. Yeah. Okay, so this is the thing that we have defined. Now our normal class has converted into an Sling model, but here we have one thing, that is we have to write anyhow. Okay, this is adaptable, and here I am using a resource dot class. Now what is the use of this resource dot class? See, so first of all keep in mind, now I am just telling, okay, so I am just opening the paint. Okay, so your Sling model implement the concept of MVC. MVC, that means model view controller. Now I'll tell you how the things will work in your Sling model. Okay, so first of all, when user will send the request in our browser, that means user will type something in our CQ dialog. Okay, so where it will go, first data will go to the controller. Here we have a controller options. After that, this controller will go to the model. Controller will go to the model, and this controller will go to the view as well. Okay, and this model has connected with the database. Now I'll tell you, database, we already knows that database is nothing but our JCR. Database also known as our JCR. Why? Because our data in our AEM, our data is stored in the form of JCR only. Okay, so when you are coming inside your CRXD, see this, it has representing a JCR. See all the properties that is on line number second, third, fourth, it has it is showing in the form of JCR only. Okay, so all our data will store inside the JCR. Okay, so this data has stored in a JCR. So first thing, this data will go inside this Sling model. Okay, this is nothing but our Sling model. Okay, and after that, here this controller is nothing but the Sling framework. This is nothing but our Sling framework. So what it will happen here? So here we have a lot of annotations. These are nothing but the annotation, and we can also call as a, this is nothing but our Sling framework. Okay, so we don't need to be worried about like we have to convert these things into a Sling model, so for that we have to write lot of code. No, they have already created this annotation, we just simply need to use it. Okay, they will manage everything. Yeah, so here okay, so now the thing is, here I uses the resource dot class. Now I'll tell you one example. Like consider which example, like consider this one. Here we have a data, okay, and this one is our another data. Okay, so this data now I just want to adapt to inside this B class. Like consider this one is my B and this one is my A. Okay, and A is nothing but, consider A is nothing but your resource. And what does it mean by the resource? Now we knows that a resource, that means this everything whatever inside your CRXD, this is nothing but the resource. Okay, and now what I want inside this hello world, now I want this text. Okay, and whatever the data it has present inside this text, this data I want it. Okay, so where it has stored inside this node, and we know that this node is also known as a resource only. So that's why I have uses here adaptables is equals to resource. Okay, here I have uses adaptables is equals to resource dot class. Why? Because of in this model I want to adapt the resource simply. Okay, this is the thing. And now second thing is, like now which property you want, so I just simply want the, what I want this text. This is the text that I want it on line number 7. This text I want, that means whatever the value it has present inside this text, this value I want it. So how I can get this value? Okay, see this hello word, now we got it. This hello word internally we got it by using this resource. Okay, now this model okay, this model flowing this information, which one? This hello word. So now this path is nothing but your Sling model. Okay, by using this resource we adapted this path, that is hello world. Okay, this is the thing. Now I just want from this property what I want this text. So how I can get it? So there we have a two option. First, you can just simply use by using a inject @inject, and you can just simply use public. What is the data type of this string? What is the data type of this text? That is string. So you have to use here string only. You can use string. And what is the name of this? That is text. So you have to use this name. Now I'll show you. Now I'll tell you. Okay, so this name, okay, and this JCR, that means the Sling property, okay, and the Java property must be same. This is nothing but our Java variable, and this one is our Sling variable. So both variable must be same. Then data will import and export from one data type to another by using this @inject. Okay, so what we are doing, we are injecting this text value inside this Java properties, inside this Java variable. Okay, and another thing, by using the @value map value, you can achieve the same thing. Here we have a value map value. Okay, you can achieve the same thing. You have to import it simply. Okay, so this is the best way and the preferable way whenever you are using the properties, whenever you are trying to achieve the properties. Like here right now inside where I am right now, I am inside the properties tab. Okay, so this property I want it, so for that you can just simply use this value map value. So what it will happen, okay, what it will happen, so see, this one is your class, that is value map value, and there otherwise sorry, so here this property is nothing but your class. Consider this property is nothing but your class, and here this value map value is nothing but your object. Okay, so from this property whatever you want to access it, so by using you can easily access it directly. You can just go inside this and you can access it. But when you are using @inject instead of this value map value, when you are using the @inject, so what it will happen? Okay, so first one, here you see this is nothing but the inject strategy. So how it will work? So first of all, it will go inside this annotation. It will try to search this annotation. If this annotation is present somewhere, so first it will execute this annotation. Okay, yeah, so here we have some properties and this applicable to a Sling request. Okay, so this thing we'll see later, but first of all it will go inside this script variable, and later it will go to this value map value. So why we are not using directly a value map value? So where it will go? So directly it will go inside this properties. Okay, it will not go inside this script variable directly. Okay, what does it mean by the injection strategy? So we are using @inject, no, so that time this flow will work. But consider in some case we have uses this Sling object. So first what it will does, so first of all it will go inside this script variable and it will search this value map value later. After that it will search this path, okay, this annotation, later this, and at the last it will execute this Sling object. So this is not a good case. So for that you can just simply use this value map value. Okay, so right now for the example purpose I am just taking the @inject, and here we don't have anything instead of the text, so that's why. So we'll just go there and we'll just try to see. Here we don't have anything. Okay, so we'll just simply do one thing. We can easily create, no, so go inside our project components where our project is hello world we have, and here we have a CQ dialog. Yeah, so instead of now I'm just taking I'm just copying this one, this text. Oh shit, copy, simple copy, come here and just simply paste it and save the changes. Okay, rename it. Here instead of this I'm just using a first name. Okay, hit enter. Okay, we got the first name, so you can just change it to first name. Okay, we got a first name. Here we have to change to a first name. Why? Because of all your information will store inside this variable only. Okay, and this is the text we wanted, so we have saved the changes. Now you can just simply go there and just write some information inside this. At the last we have, no, okay, here we have hello world, go inside this config, and here we have first name. You can just add anything. Okay, so this is the first name we have added. Save the changes. Now this information has also added inside our content. Now just come here and just refresh it. Now you will see the first name as well. See, this is the first name, we got it, and here we have a value that is first name. Okay, so this value now I just want inside my Sling model. So we knows that we have to use @inject only, inject, and here we have to use the public, the string value, and here we have to use the first name only. See, keep in mind this name and that name must be same. So here what we have, this name, so you can just simply copy, come here, and instead of that you have to paste this. Okay, we have pasted. Now for this we have to create the getter methods. Okay, so this data from the database, this is nothing but our database. From the database we got this value and we have stored inside our model. So here we have written it. So from the database we got the value. Database is nothing but the JCI. We got the value and this value we are storing inside, we are getting in our model. But now at the last we have to print this value. Okay, so here we have a view is nothing but the presentation layer. Okay, your value will present inside this. So whatever the logic you are performing in this model or by using this controller, this value we have to print it. So how we can print this value? By using a HTL. Now I'll show you how we can do that, but before that we have to use here getter for receiving, for giving this value. See here it's just simple data types. Okay, it's just simple a model. For giving and for printing this value we have to use the getter method. We have to give by using the getter methods. So for that we have to write the getter methods here, public string and here get text. Okay, we got it. Return here you can just simply use the text. Okay, we got it, we have written. Now you can just choose another one, public string get first name, go inside this and you can just simply return. Here we have a first name. Done. Okay, this thing is done. Now what we have to do it, we just simply have to export the changes. Okay, but we haven't export the changes in our apps, so we cannot do anything. We just simply deploy. But before that I'm just okay, so this value we have to print it. So how we can print this value first? Okay, so here we have a hello world components. Okay, so inside this hello world components now I'm just printing this value. Okay, where it has okay, this one we have to go inside our apps, and these apps have a hello world components. Where it has, yeah, this one. And we knows that where we will print the value, inside our hello world components only. Okay, where we will print the value, we will write the content inside our components only. So here we have one script, you can just simply write inside this. Okay, so we have to take the code. Okay, first of all the changes, all the data, it has present inside our Sling model only. So from this Sling model we have to take it. Okay, so how we can take? So for that we have to use the HTL, data slash use. Okay, so this is nothing but the HTL. This is not your HTML. Okay, HTL is also called as a sitely, so I am using a HTL now, sitely. Okay, and this is the attribute. This one is our attribute. Okay, and this attribute is used for creating the object. So like, tell me one thing, if you want to call and if you want to print something here from, okay, in your Java, if you want to print something on the console, for that what you will do, you have to create the variable, otherwise you have to make the thing as a static. Okay, no, then you will print on a console this data, otherwise yeah, this is the thing. So the same thing you want to call this method. Okay, so for that you have to make this method as a static, otherwise you have to create the object. Okay, so we are not creating the object inside this model. Where we are creating inside this sitely. Then we can easily call this getter methods. Why we are calling this getter? Because our actual data, it has present inside this variable only. Okay, so you can just simply go there and create the variable. Okay, create the object. So here I am just creating this object, double quotes, and inside this double quotes we have to for whom you are creating the object. So I just want to create the object for this my class, for this class, but where your class is present, so this class has present inside this package. So we have to copy this package first, just go inside this and paste it. Copy your class, go there and just simply paste it. Okay, we got it. And after that you can just simply close the div, otherwise don't close it. Okay, we write some code inside this. Okay, so here I am just writing some code now. So now we just got the object. Now we can just simply print the data. Why? Because we can just simply call all the methods, no? So how many methods we have? We have a get text and we have a first name, so we can easily call it to this method for printing this text and the first name. So here first of all I'm just writing in the heading, that is first name. Here I have written. And the thing is, whenever you are calling something from the Sling model or something from somewhere, you have to use this expression language. Why we are using this expression language? Because of it will print a dynamic data. What it will do, it will print a dynamic data. Okay, so for that we are using this expression language. So here now I am just calling this method, which one? That is get first name. You can just simply copy and come here and just paste it. So we have called it, but the rule is how we can call in our normal methods. Okay, in our normal Java we can call like this, like get first name and parenthesis open and the close, and we will at the last we write the semicolon. But here we have one rule, we don't write like this, we don't call like this. So how we can call? So we have to remove this semicolon and the parenthesis first, and after that first name we have to remove it, that is get. Okay, remove this get and make this f as a small, in a small case. So keep in mind what we have done here. So first of all we have to remove this get and make this f small. Okay, so now your this method will call, and I'm just simply closing this h2. I have closes this h2. Now go inside this. Here we have a h2, and this is the text. Now we want to print dollar curly braces open and the close. Here I'm just calling, and here I'm just closing this h2. So now tell me, here I just want to call this method, that is get text. So how I can call? What I have to use inside this? Anyone?
Object dot text.
Exactly, where here we have to use object dot text only. We will not write like this. Okay, we will not write like this. Why? This is the rule. We have to write like this only. We have to remove this, we have to remove the get, and we have to make this as t as a small. So this is the code we have written, and this one is your view, that means the presentation view. This one is nothing but your presentation view. Okay, so this is the thing, this is nothing but your MVC pattern. This one is nothing but your MVC pattern. Okay, so now we just have to deploy it, and we have to check it, this code has reflecting there or not. So how we can deploy? We have two ways. So first, where you have changes, all the changes where you made. Okay, so all the changes you have made it inside this CRXD. So first thing we have to import it, all the data we have to import. So how we can import? Just come here, go inside the apps, demo1, components we have. Okay, so when you are going first time inside this hello world.html, you won't see whatever we have added right now currently, so you won't see. Okay, but when you import it, come here and import it, import from the server. Yeah, so we have to start the server first. So just come here, window, show view, others, and here we have to type the server. Open it. Yeah, here we have a server. Okay, come here and just simply start it. When your server will start, then you can easily import and export. Okay, it has started. Now you can just simply import from the server, finish it. Now you will see this code will change. Okay, here you see, now you are seeing the changes. Okay, so now you can just simply deploy from the here. Okay, so here you come and here we have options of the demo project. You can just simply click there and run. So this run configuration we have created yesterday. You can just simply click it there. When you will click, see it has running. So when you will go there now, so we have removed everything from this hello world. Okay, so it will take some time for the deploy, but till now you can just simply come inside this EN, and here you see whatever you have added here, these things will remove, and what things will print. So whatever you have added inside your hello world, so you have added these things only. So first of all it will print this first name, and after that it will print this data, whatever the value you are adding inside this configuration. Click here, whatever value you are adding inside this configuration, only this value will print inside this text and the F name. Okay, so it has taken a lot of time, so I'm just stopping the session here only. Tomorrow we'll continue.